sure that that's actually going and popping up places, populating places, make sure my page is going here. Might be a little delayed, and it says I'm live. Okay, perfect. Okay, so again, we are tracking storms as they are crossing into the state of Michigan. We're looking for the possibility of some of these to go severe. We have been upgraded into a slight risk by the Storm Prediction Center, and I can show that to you. Well, first of all, we have the Severe Thunderstorm Watch, which is in effect for basically the Grand Rapids area, Muskegon down to Kalamazoo. This does include Lansing as well. So that severe thunderstorm watch is going to go until 10 o'clock, and it is for this line of storms that's coming on through. Now, we have been upgraded to a little bit of a tornado risk there, and I'll pull it up for the folks at home right there. Okay, so there is the possibility for just a very, very small chance of a tornado coming on through with this as well. But I just wanted to put that on your radar that while the chance is very low, it's not zero. But this is, the lowest thing that they issue for those tornadoes. Now, the entire lower peninsula is in somewhat of a severe weather threat here. The dark green is indicating a marginal risk for severe storms, and the slight risk is indicated by yellow. Now, that's a 2 out of 5 on the scale. It goes from marginal, slight, enhanced, moderate to high. And we're at 2, which is a slight risk. And again, this is for this evening. And I do want to point out that we have a way better chance of severe storms tomorrow for Tuesday. And you can see here that much of the lower peninsula is under a slight risk for those severe storms. Better chances back over to the west by Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, and western Illinois. And then even as we go into the day Wednesday, primarily from Flint to Detroit, Ann Arbor, southward, has a small chance for some of those severe storms as well. But again, back to tonight, we have storms crossing the lake right now, and we have been upgraded to a slight risk for the areas that are in yellow. That includes Mount Pleasant, Saginaw, kind of borderline Flint. That includes Lansing, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Benton Harbor, and the Chicago area as well. So back over to the radar here, and we can see that line is crossing into the state of Michigan over Lake Michigan, and it doesn't look like a whole lot right now. We probably are going to see some cool shelf clouds coming through, which are those clouds that look like, they're going to eat shell, like they have a mouth on them or something. So we'll see a lot of cool cloud formations, I'm sure. But what's going on here and why I'm going live and why we've been upgraded is because it's warm and humid out today, right? So the storms are crossing the colder waters of Lake Michigan, and now they're going to start to feed off the warmth and the humidity that's going on over the land areas, especially with some of the sunshine we had today. We're starting to warm things up, starting to get some instability in there, we call it. So we're just going to be looking out for that as it comes on through. And I will get something else to show you up over here, and I'll switch it over for those of you that are at home looking on Facebook and stuff in just 2 seconds. Switch this over to Michigan. Okay, back to OBS, put the window back up there. So here's what we're looking for. Obviously, it's warm out right now. We got temperatures that are ranging in the upper 70s to the upper 80s, depending on where you're at. And there's a lot of humidity out there as well. Percentages of humidity don't look too impressive, but trust me, it is pretty humid out there when you factor in what we call the dew point, which is right here, and where we're starting to see that bluish color, that means it's pretty humid outside. So, we have a dew point of 66 in Grand Rapids, and that's pretty humid, especially considering the fact that it's mid-May, right? I mean, July, August would be like, meh, no big deal. But it's the middle of May, and it is pretty humid outside. So something else that we take into consideration is when we have the heat, when we have the moisture, we have what we call instability going on. We can actually kind of rate that and give a number to it, and that's what we call CAPE. And that just means like, hey, the storms have this much energy to feed off of in the atmosphere. So let's turn it. I hope this doesn't look too complicated for you, but let's give it a shot here. Forecast loop. And so basically, once they cross the lake, they are feeding off of the warmth and the humidity. And again, it doesn't look impressive, but you see it right there. It's that orangey stuff showing up down along basically I-96, and we're getting up to like 2,500 joules per kilogram, which I know doesn't mean a whole lot to you at home, but that's a lot. That's that's decent. That'll give the storm something to feed off of for sure. This shows the colors a little bit better. You don't need to pay attention to the weird bullseye looking things. It's not target practice or anything, but for meteorologists, it's called a hodograph, and it shows how winds kind of change with direction and spin and veer with height and all that stuff. So color-wise, you see the colors indicating the CAPE, which is the instability, the storm fuel, if you will. And notice how that, definitely the storms gobble it up and it depletes, right? So that's what they're going to be feeding off of as they are crossing over the lake. So back to the radar. Again, these storms are coming onshore right now. If anyone has some cool pictures from the west side of the state along the shoreline, I would love to see them. But here's how they're coming on through. We don't have any active warnings right yet, but they are coming through Holland. They've already gone through parts of Muskegon. And again, I do think, let's see if my little pencil works again today, but I do think, where we saw the greatest instability along I-96, Grand Rapids towards Lansing, we'll have to watch out for this area right here and see what those storms have to feed off of as they start to come on through. I'm going to leave this on a loop and go to some questions, comments, and concerns. Doesn't look like I have anyone chiming in on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter or anything just yet. So we'll browse TikTok. And TikTok, we're getting ready to hopefully get this through desktop soon as well. A lot of folks are asking about Indiana. I'm going to be focusing on Michigan because that's where the slight risk is. Indiana does have some storms down there, eventually going through the South Bend area and then over towards Fort Wayne, but nothing severe showing up as of yet. But off to the north, we got this line coming through, and again, starting to go through areas of Grand Rapids here shortly, and we are starting to see a little more development now. Let's put a pause on this and zoom in a little bit more. So starting to come through into Grand Rapids. Probably seeing the skies get a little darker, and notice up toward Fremont and Hesperia, this area with the red is going to push over. Oh, we just got an update there. Push over to the east even more. So we might have some pretty cool cloud formation showing up in Grand Rapids. Actually, I might go take a look really quick and see what I see out there. Probably having a little bit of a shelf cloud starting to come through right now. A little bit of a shelf cloud into parts of Grand Rapids. Let's see if I can. Grand Rapids sky cameras. Let's see what's going on with this. Maybe we'll get some cool stuff. No, that's pointed down at the water. Muskegon, Frankfort, Muskegon, Mackinac, Traverse City. Maybe we'll just go to Fox 17 and see what they have. Oh, that's Nashville. That's not. Okay, hold on. That didn't work out so hot for me either. Apologize, but I don't know. Weather. That be where the cameras are? We'll see. But yeah, feel free to ask some questions here. Again, focusing on Michigan, like the title says. We might take a jaunt down to Indiana here in a moment, but really focusing on parts of Michigan. I'm not seeing access to cameras anywhere on here. Weather, traffic. Maybe they're under traffic. Sure aren't. Okay, well, we tried. Anyway. Back over to the radar for everybody. So yeah, those storms coming through. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning off to the north. Remember I said those lines were starting to grow a little bit. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile per hour wind for Newaygo County. That's until 7:15, and that's radar indicated wind. So that makes sense, right? How this works is you get the warm and humid air. It wants to rise, especially when there's colder air above it. It's buoyancy, right? Cold air wants to sink, hot air wants to rise. So what happens is you rise all that air, you get the rain in it, you're getting that, maybe sometimes ice and hail, things like that. And then it falls down onto the storm, right? So the greater the difference is between that colder air falling and the warmer air rising, we can get some pretty high winds coming on through. So what happens is cold air rushes out and you get some really high winds with these storms. So that's why there's a higher wind risk than anything when it's really warm and humid like this out, because the air wants to rise and then the cold air wants to sink. And it happens pretty fast sometimes. So let's switch this over to velocity, and we'll take a gander at the wind that we can see. And there is a little bit of a line showing up there. Nothing really concerning here. Don't worry about that green streak. That's nothing. That's just some bad data in the radar. Don't worry about that at all. But what we're going to look out for here, yeah, definitely some of the winds coming on through. And basically this green line is going to be the gust front with the wind coming on by. So watch out in Newaygo County. And again, that would be obviously for Newaygo, White Cloud, Fremont, Croton Harbor Dam area, like the Dragon Trails up there in Newaygo State Park. Just be careful with those winds coming through. Frequent lightning and some very heavy rain is going to be possible as well. And again, this line is also approaching Grand Rapids. The way that this line is developing now, see how it's getting darker reds over areas like Plainfield, Charter Township, which that line, that's just a big word. Anyway, going over by Ottawa County and Muskegon County, that's where it's starting to really ramp up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see warnings for Grand Rapids and Allegan here soon. We can put on the velocity again and see what's going on with that. I'm even more blind than I thought I was, so we're seeing a little bit of wind show up here for sure. A little bit of wind showing up. Nothing overly concerning yet as this treks over to the east. Maybe we'll take a peek outside and see if we're getting a shelf cloud again. Had some really cool shelf clouds this morning coming on through. Thanks, Eka. Alrighty. There's a little baby shelf cloud out there. Nothing too crazy at all. I'm in Holland. Everything is chill. All right. Good to hear. There's a teensy-weensy tornado possibility. Nothing too crazy, though. Pouring and storming in Hudsonville. Okay, good to know. That's where this heavier line is coming through right now. Yeah, so we're just keeping an eye on all of this as it comes on through. Again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Newaygo County, and so far that is it. I had some folks ask about Oakland County. You had some remnant thunderstorms over there a little earlier, a couple warnings earlier, but as of right now, nothing. But this line is going to be crossing the state, and by the time it gets over to you at 10 p.m., probably going to be running out of juice a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on it. So again, this is the line crossing over through the west side of Michigan right now, Grand Rapids, down toward Kalamazoo. We've had a lot of severe weather this season already in Michigan, more so than usual. Likely not only because of all the warm temperatures, but the warm water temperatures on the Great Lakes as well. Kind of breaks down our shield a little bit there. Cold waters of the Great Lakes usually destroy storms, but if they're not cold, then you don't destroy storms as well, right? So here's again, looking at the line coming on through. We do have, looks like a lot of thunder and lightning coming down and some pretty heavy downpours as we speak. Of course, with this line coming through, and that one severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15 p.m. for Newaygo County, and that is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Radar indicated. So we're going to keep a very close eye on that. We can bounce over to the National Weather Service chat just to see what they're saying really quick. And not a whole lot. Yeah, so everyone's talking about the instability. And again, this blue box that you see is the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect. And as you see there, it's like we have an ad going on behind me. I was streaming some storm chasers. Oh, there we go. Yes, we got some storm chasing going on in the background. Not in Michigan. It's somewhere else, but... So yeah, that is the severe thunderstorm watch until 10 p.m. and it's just the blue box area. So that goes from Grand Rapids, Muskegon, Kalamazoo, Lansing, areas like that. Let's go back over to the radar though. That orange box you see over Lake Michigan, that's called a special marine warning for some gusty winds over there. And again, this is starting to come into Grand Rapids, and we got some heavier development down to the south as well. Remember what I was saying just a little bit earlier? We have this area of what we call instability. Oh, there we go. Grand Rapids just got a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, let's talk about that for a moment. I will cut myself off. And this is exactly what I thought would happen. You guys heard me say it, right? You heard me say Grand Rapids was going to get a severe thunderstorm warning. So Grand Rapids, Kent County, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. This will expire at 7:30. It is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that is radar indicated. So let's switch it back over to the wind mode here. And this is, remember, what we're looking for in terms of tornadoes is like little bright dots of red and green next to each other. The whole line of red and green is not a tornado. Don't worry about that. So basically what we're seeing here is the green goes towards the radar site. Red is away from the radar site, which is this black circle, by the way. That's at the airport. That's the radar. And what's happening is you got the warmer, moist air flowing into the storms. You got the storms right here, and then cold air rushes out of the storms. So that is coming into areas like Walker, Hudsonville, further off to the north as well. So, like Fruitport roads up there, 6 mile, 7 mile, Sparta, areas like that. And again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning for Grand Rapids and Kent County for 60-mile-per-hour winds in effect until 7:30. Here's what it looks like on radar. Really getting ready over Hudsonville, which means it'll start to go into Jenison, Wyoming, Kentwood, Byron Center. Already kind of leaving Holland and Zeeland, but Holland and Zeeland, you'll have some more storms coming in for you there as well. And again, this is radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour winds. And I am trying Live and Walker. Oh, cool. So I got some locals watching me. Awesome. I appreciate that. Owasso, nothing for you yet. Battle Creek and Jackson, yes, these will be coming your way eventually. Shiawassee County. KCMO, Kansas City, Missouri. No, you're a little far away. I'm going to be focusing on Michigan here for a moment. Lansing, you'll get some of these storms soon as well, once they start marching their way across the state. Lansing is under the severe thunderstorm watch, by the way. Remember the difference between a watch and a warning, please. I can pull that up actually on my Facebook page. Maybe I have it somewhere. Maybe not. All right, everyone's favorite graphic, so we can discuss the difference between a watch and a warning. So we have the severe thunderstorm warning for Grand Rapids. So the watch, everyone, see the watch up there? You have a tornado or a severe thunderstorm watch, means you have all the ingredients. Like I was just talking about, heat, humidity, lift, things like that, instability. So If you have a taco watch, you have all of the ingredients for tacos. A warning means you have a taco and you're about to, like, shove it in your face, like I do. And it goes everywhere and you got to change your clothes. That's a taco warning. Taco watch means I have all the ingredients, but I don't actually have a taco yet. Taco warning. I have a taco. So we have the severe thunderstorm watch for a large part of the state, which means the ingredients are there. The severe thunderstorm warning means the storms are coming in with the warning, right? We have the storm, we have the wind, we're issuing a warning. So that's what the yellow box is. The severe thunderstorm watch is for everyone else, just letting you know all the ingredients are there, and we're going to keep an eye out and see if something materializes, if we get a taco. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. That makes sense? So yes, we're watching out for this in Lansing as well, and everyone else, don't worry. But right now we do have the severe thunderstorm warning for Grand Rapids. And I'm in Grand Rapids. I might be able to, I don't know, I can take the folks on TikTok with me at least. I don't know about moving my whole computer outside, but you can see what's happening out there. Let's see if there's any comments. Let's see. There was the possibility that it was a microburst earlier over in between Flint and Saginaw. Otisville, I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about. There was some straight line winds and the possibility of a microburst over there. The round tomorrow has a way better potential to be severe than the one that we have right now, but we were upgraded to a slight risk for the ones coming through right now. So I think that updates the folks on there. Back over to the radar. And again, this whole line is coming through. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another round of severe thunderstorm warnings coming through for Kalamazoo. Holland, you might get another one. Over by Allegan might get one. And maybe over towards Paw Paw, Dowagiac, Benton Harbor as well. And then, yes, these are extending down into Michigan City and South Bend, Indiana. They're not severe yet, but they look like they're starting to get pretty strong. So again, right now we have the severe thunderstorm warnings for Newaygo and Kent counties. Also, it looks like the eastern part of maybe Ottawa and Muskegon County too. Yeah, Muskegon County and Ottawa County also have severe thunderstorm warnings. And again, these are both for Newaygo and Kent County, as well as Muskegon and Ottawa. That is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Might be a little bit of small hail in there too, but as of right now, we're just looking for those 60-mile-per-hour winds to come on by. Yep, and again, velocity here, that's what we're looking at. This shows the wind. And in case anyone is forgetting, we'll do velocity. So we can see the wind on the radar. This black dot is called the cone of silence. That is the actual radar site, so that's ground zero. And it's simple. Green goes towards the radar. Red is away from the radar. So basically you have the warm, moist air feeding into the storms. You get your storms like here, and then the cold air rushes out of the storms. So that's basically what that is saying. This is going to get awfully close to where I live here in just a second. I'm on the north side of Grand Rapids. So we're going to watch these as they cross over, and I will be answering some questions as well. I'm going to put a loop on, and I'm going to go take a peek out the window because there's no better way to tell you what's going on than, what I can observe with my literal eyes. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm going to peek out my window again, and we'll see what's going on. Nothing too crazy yet. The sky is getting darker. I'm not even hearing much thunder or lightning, but we'll see what the winds do when they start to arrive. And I'll keep everyone updated on that. But for now, again, I would say these are kind of your, not to downgrade anything, but it is a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's kind of your run-of-the-mill severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail less than 3/4 of an inch. In terms of severe warnings, this one is, definitely a good time to stay indoors for sure. But in terms of like being, I wouldn't, it's not anything to, scare anyone over. So I'm going to say that. Again, it's serious, but it's not like super, super crazy. Okay, I'm behind on TikTok over here. I am sorry about that. Getting some wind now. Again, Grand Rapids, this is in Michigan. I thought I put it in the title. I'm sorry if I forgot. I thought I put in the title this was for Michigan this time. I'm trying to make everything a little more cohesive for everybody. Kalamazoo has the possibility for a severe thunderstorm warning. I know everyone there is a little nervous after the tornadoes. But yeah, not like what it was a few weeks ago. The purple, when I was showing velocity, just means it's going perpendicular to the radar beam. It's super simple. It's either towards the radar, away from the radar, or purple means like it can't tell, which is usually perpendicular to the radar. Yeah, so if that was the purple you're talking about, it's because it's just you got green going towards the radar, red is away from the radar, and then the radar beam is like, wait, I can't tell which way it's going, so it's going the same way I am. And that's all that means. All right. So yeah, we'll probably get some good gusts of wind coming through. Keep looking outside, and it's raining. That's it. A little bit of rain so far. If you start seeing things blow around on my balcony, well, that would be the wind. But as of right now, not a huge deal. But we're going to stay on here and keep an eye on it for you because, again, Grand Rapids, big city, Kent County, population 500,000, and 500,000 people plus are now under severe thunderstorm warnings. So we'll keep everyone filled in. Greenville, yes, this is headed your direction as well. Wind, thunder, lightning for about 10 minutes in Zeeland. Thank you for the report there. Appreciate that. Your reports help me out a lot. Jennison, yes, the storm's coming through. You're probably saying like, hey, it's not that bad. Well, the colors down by you, yeah, they're not as impressive as they are off to the north for sure. So let's pause this for a moment. And we can zoom way in on the Grand Rapids metro area. So as you see, we have Grand Rapids, Wyoming. We got Hudsonville. Here's Grand Rapids. Wyoming. So Jennison's over there. I love that I can draw on here, by the way. And then we got, Rockford up here, Belding, Greenville. So we're watching it. As of right now, you can tell by the colors, right? That the why am I losing my train of thought? That the more intense rainfall is off to the north, for sure. And again, we're keeping an eye on Grant Newaygo right now. The storm is pretty much going through the north part of town. White Cloud is about to get socked with this storm coming on through. And yeah, I've seen some rain outside, but it's just rain right now. So Grand Rapids, we'll have some gusty winds come through, but as of right now, yeah, I don't know what really to say about it. Stay indoors. Obviously, it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but this is nothing that's super crazy. I'm more concerned for the northern part of Kent County, to be honest, where we have like Sparta, Cedar Springs, Rockford. This cell up here looks like it has much better potential to pack some winds. But let's flip it over to the velocity again, where I can look at the wind, remember? And yeah, we are going to see some winds up on the north side. So Rockford, Cedar Springs, Sparta, the wind's going through you right now. It's basically this green area that I'm watching out for. So again, I know these colors look a little complicated. This line of green right here is wind like kind of rushing out of the storm. So that's what I'm looking for. And that lines up pretty well with where the storm's at, right? So it's warm, humid air going into the storm and cooler air rushing out of the storm. And see how that wind lines up perfectly with this line of the storm. So yeah, it's this colder air from all the rain coming down that's rushing outwards. And then ahead of it, you got the wind going into the storm. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I think of War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, and he's like, the wind's blowing into the storm. And I'm like, it's supposed to. Whatever. The meteorological inaccuracies in movies are hard to overlook sometimes, but we shall see. Okay, so yeah, I saw someone ask about Jennison, and the TikTok, I have to scroll manually through your comments. I'm really sorry. Thunder and Rain in Allendale, thank you very much for that. Elsie, we got someone watching from Elsie. I know where that is. You're good for now, but this is going to cross the whole state. But you're good for now. Thunder in downtown GR, thank you. Oh, I just heard a little bit here on the north side. Alma, you're fine for now. These are headed your way though. Holt, same thing, headed your way, but you're fine for now. Thunder and Rain in downtown, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So again, here's the line coming through. Looking at my weather window, I got rain. A lot of it. That's it, though. It's straight up and down rain. It's vertically raining, not horizontal rain. That's always a plus. The trees are moving, but it's just like a normal wind. Again, no big deal. Nobody panic. It's just a good time to stay indoors because of the potential for potentially 60-mile-per-hour winds up towards Sparta, Rockford, Plainwell Township. Sure. We'll keep an eye on this. And again, up through Newaygo, the Hardy-Croton Dam area, anywhere along 131 north of Grand Rapids, basically, up to Big Rapids. We'll keep an eye out for these storms to produce some wind. Might be starting to get a little bit of a bow echo structure here. That's what I named my dog after, by the way. Her name's Echo. I named her after a bow echo thunderstorm. So I'm a nerd. Yep, nothing going on over in Ryle Oak yet. So there's Lansing, Flint, Oakland Township, Detroit, Livonia, Saginaw. You guys can see, you got nothing yet. So we're going to focus on the west side here for just a little bit. But again, these storms are expected to cross the whole state, and they are feeding into some warm, humid air. So they're going to have a little more to feed off of. I'm going to watch this line down to the south that's coming on shore right now. And this is coming on shore from Benton Harbor all the way up to Holland. See how much more potent the second line is? Let's pause this, get my drawing tool out. So the first line, all right, it's fizzling out, but this line from Benton Harbor through South Haven, Saugatuck, up to Holland, that one's a little more potent. So we're going to watch how that interacts with the more warm and humid air as it moves over to the east, and we might get a few more warnings down to the south as well. I can flip it back over, see if we're getting any word of anything happening. No reports of any damage or anything, so that's always great. Ken says, thank you for your service. You are very welcome. And otherwise, I think the comments on Facebook I have covered, unless they're a little behind, in which case I'm sorry. Sometimes they get a little behind. It's technology. Let's see, the TikTok ones. Thank you for sharing the live stream. I appreciate that. LaPorte County, Indiana is hearing sirens. Not sure where LaPorte County is, but I don't see any warnings in Indiana at all. So that might be due to a lightning strike or something. I've heard of that happening before, but I'm not seeing anything that would. There is a small tornado threat with these storms. A small one. To the left of South Bend. Oh, there's LaPorte. Thank you for that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would assume, I've heard of sirens going off because of 3 reasons. 1, user error. Oh, there's a severe thunderstorm warning that just popped up for South Bend and LaPorte. 60-mile-per-hour winds. That wouldn't set off the sirens, though. But I have heard of sirens being 1, user error, 2, rain getting in and like the equipment gets wet and malfunctions, or 3, a lightning strike. So I would say if the sirens are going off in LaPorte, it's because of a lightning strike or something like that. Otherwise, there's no reason the sirens should be going off. Sometimes they'll trigger the sirens for like 70 or 80 mile per hour winds if they're confirmed, but there's no way. The warning would have popped up with that in the wording, and it's not. So we still have the severe thunderstorm warnings for Newaygo County. That's a big warning. Yep, through Newaygo County and up through Kent County and Grand Rapids. And again, Grand Rapids, like, stay inside. It is a severe thunderstorm warning, but I'm telling you right now, like, this is not. This is like a thunderstorm. It's just a regular thunderstorm. I'm on the north side of Grand Rapids, so you're like literally looking. I'll just give a generalization. I'm in here. Then it's just a thunderstorm. But again, I see why it was warned. I'm not trying to knock the National Weather Service at all. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm right now. It's not. We'll watch out for it to develop into something more, but it's not a huge deal right now. Battle Creek, you got nothing yet, but it is going to be moving your way. And I know we had a couple tornado warnings in Battle Creek recently, so there you are, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek right now. Just watching the storms that are over by Benton Harbor. That's it. Let's put a play mode on here so we get a loop going for everybody. And again, there they are, crossing through Grand Rapids. Pull up the South Haven Beach camera and see what's going on there. I have to go to YouTube for this thing? Okay. See some storms in the distance there in the South Haven camera. Otherwise, not looking too crazy. Sorry, Facebook, I gotta switch you over. Come on. There we go. That's the South Haven camera right now. It's not showing anything too crazy. I think Holland Spyglass Condos. Webcam on Spyglass Hill. So again, we're watching out for the severe storms. Diddley squat on the south side of Highland. Okay, well, thank you. I guess that has satisfied my curiosity. Yes, as verified, Diddley squat is going on in South Haven. Is that a person out there? Sir, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. Why are you out on a pier in Lake Michigan? No, no, no. Okay, so back over to the radar, and again, I will get through some comments here. I don't like watching myself look at my phone. There we go. Anything by Detroit? Not yet. Troy? Not yet. Troy? Not yet. Macomb? Not yet. Northwest Indiana? Yes, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile per hour winds between LaPorte and South Bend. Wow, lots of people asking about Troy, or is that the same person? Oh, it's the same person. Sorry. Laramie, Wyoming. That is excessively far away. So, Lower Michigan. This whole thing has been in Lower Michigan. Manistee. There we go. Yes, some storms came through. Some more rain is coming through off. I'm not sure. There you go. It's popping up there now. You can see Manistee up there. Just regular showers and storms. Nothing crazy. I'm going to show everybody the slight risk in the severe thunderstorm watch again, because I feel like that's information that we showed a while ago and we should probably show again for people that are coming and going off the live streams. Computer is lagging pretty bad today. It must be overheating. I do apologize. Okay, so the yellow is the slight risk for severe storms, and that was added after 4 o'clock today. So that is an upgrade, and this is for the rest of this evening. So we are under a slight risk for severe storms. And notice that does include the Tri-Cities, which is Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. It includes the Saginaw Bay. It includes Lansing, Mount Pleasant, Grand Rapids, and more notably, I just want to also, because I just went camping, campgrounds anywhere on the west side, and of course there's a lot of campgrounds around the Saginaw Bay and the Thumb, and just everyone be careful. But also the dark green is also a marginal risk for severe storms, and that is for just about the entire lower peninsula, so we do have that threat there. And yes, they did add a super small chance of a tornado, which is this dark green area here. So it's basically like, it's a non-zero chance, but it is really small. So, and definitely smaller than it was a couple weeks ago. So nothing to, lose sleep over there. Now, as we go into the day tomorrow, there is a much higher chance for severe storms. Slight risk encompasses not only much of the lower peninsula, but a lot of the upper peninsula. And the whole state of Michigan, green, yellow, is under some form of severe weather threat for the day Tuesday. So we will definitely keep you up to date on that information as well. And I was showing this earlier, but this is just showing the instability, the fuel for the storms to work with, basically. And the fuel that these storms have to work with, it hangs out primarily along the I-96 corridor and a little bit up towards Saginaw, and then basically vanishes as the storms kind of gobble it up. But I can show you a little bit further into tomorrow as well. And I will have to go to a different run of the model that goes a little bit longer, like this one. And again, this is the model, what it thinks is happening tonight, which is lining up pretty well, right? Pretty well. And notice it's got, some riffraff up there, still at about 11 o'clock. This is 11 o'clock. Overnight, it really dies out. And now as we go into the day tomorrow, this is where it's probably going to be an overnight thing tomorrow. And that's actually kind of good news for us if the storms lose. Oh, come on. Can we just stop where I want you to stop? Thank you. Okay. So this is at midnight tomorrow night, and this is when it's got this line of storms coming on through. So obviously timing can change, but this is going to be a much later tomorrow problem than right in the middle of the day kind of problem. But I'll keep you updated on that as it gets a little bit closer. Let's go back to our radar right now and keep an eye on what's going on right now. Just keep in mind that we have a better chance tomorrow of some wind damage coming through. And yes, it could be a derecho. It just depends on, if it forms, where it forms. Is it going to hold on once it crosses Lake Michigan? Coming in overnight, are we still going to have enough instability for it to feed off of overnight? There's a lot of questions that come up with the derechos specifically and severe thunderstorms and stuff like that. But right now, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning for Grand Rapids, Kent County, and Newaygo County off to the north. Those are going to expire here in a little while as this line of storms continues to cross over Michigan. And again, looking out my weather window, it's raining. That's it. And I'm on the north side of Grand Rapids, literally right in the middle of this severe thunderstorm warning. And I'm telling you right now, stay indoors. It's a warning. In terms of it being a big deal, it's not a huge deal right now. Alrighty. I don't think I'm behind on comments for once, but you never know. We'll take a look-see over here. You're very welcome, Farm Girl 19. Thank you, Daniel, for clearing that up for me. All right. Now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. And I know I had some people watching from up here earlier. Well, someone mentioned Greenville earlier. I guess this is just to the north of Greenville. But it does include Howard City, Morley, Canadian Lakes, and Big Rapids. So this severe thunderstorm warning is also just kind of barely in there. It's for less than 3/4 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And that one for Howard City is going to go until 7:45. And this is for Mecosta County and western Montcalm County. So Mecosta and Montcalm counties moving at 70 miles per hour. It is moving really fast, actually. So we might have some credible wind threat with this here. Okay, so let's pick up on some radar trends. I'm pausing it. We're moving it. Let's play it one more time. So I'm going to focus on this storm right here that I just circled. So watch how this is trending. See if you can pick up on what's going on here. Do you see how it's kind of bowing out? How part of the storm looks like it's rushing out ahead of the rest? That's what we call a bow echo. And I named that after him. I named my dog after that. So we're going to focus on that for a minute. Let's pause it here. So basically what we have is this backwards C looking thing. That would be the wind rushing out of the storm. And when it starts to get that, it's a bow echo. So it looks like a bow, like Katniss Everdeen, bow and arrow, right? So you got Katniss's bow right there, also called the bow echo. And that is indicating that there is wind with this storm. And that is a pretty serious threat. So at this point, from Cedar Springs to Sand Lake to Howard City, Lakeview, Morley, getting in, like it said, Mecosta and Montcalm counties. So let's switch it over to storm relative velocity. That's not showing a whole lot. Let's just go over to regular velocity. There you go. So these brighter reds are indicating some wind rushing out ahead of the storm. So we will likely have an increased possibility of that 60-mile-per-hour wind going toward Howard City right now. So Howard City, Morley, and Lakeview, definitely time to head indoors. And if you want to secure that trampoline or patio furniture, now is the time to do it. And again, that's for Montcalm and Mecosta counties. And this is just showing the wind with those coming on through. And again, you can kind of see how there's this very nice line forming with the storm, right? Right there, just went over 131. That's what we call a bow echo. And that is meaning that the wind is rushing out of the storm. And it shapes the storm. So Howard City, that's coming through right now. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. This is not a tornado warning, but you can still have some damage caused by the straight line winds with the bow echo coming through. So Howard City, Pearson, Sand Lake, over towards Lakeview and Morley. Good time to head indoors and again secure some of that stuff. Yes, St. Louis, it could be headed your way, as well as Alma, Shepherd, Mount Pleasant, Rosebush, Weidman. I had to take my boyfriend to Lakeview one time. Nice little hospital unit there. We had to go there for an appendix issue. So I know Lakeview. It's on a lake, surprisingly. Very pretty. Very pretty downtown, too. Good old buildings down there. I think there were some ice cream shops and stuff. Probably, and again, anywhere that there's ice cream shops, which I know there's some along the roads that parallel 131 through like Howard City, Morley, Lakeview. It's a warm summer day, but be careful. There's a very specific question. There's a very, very, very low tornado threat. Very, very low. Southeast Michigan, the best possibility for severe weather will be tomorrow on Tuesday. Small chance these might do something overnight, but it's a very small chance. Yes, the north side of a bow echo can cause a brief tornado sometimes with the way the winds rush out and rotate, creating a vortex up there. Absolutely. I forgot. Oh crap. It went away. I forgot who just asked that. But yes, you're right. The north end of a bow echo can absolutely cause a small possibility. You can hear the rain on my speaker. You might be hearing my air conditioning, which is on. I'm on the top floor, so it gets a little toasty in here. Otherwise, it's not even really raining a whole lot outside, which is a bummer because that means I have to water my plants. I don't feel like watering my plants. It didn't rain that much. Darn it. Saranac, I know where that is. Someone asked about Saranac. Not yet. You're not showing up on here right now, but I know exactly where Saranac is because I just drove by it today in this area. It's headed your way, but it's not there yet. So again, watching out for Howard City, most likely right under the worst of the wind and the rain right now. Lots of thunder and lightning showing up as well. So this will be headed toward Morley and Lakeview. And be careful, this is actually most likely going to be 60 mile per hour wind gusts coming on by. And we can see it in the bright colors here, especially north of Howard City. So Marley, and again, this is going right over the Croton Hardy Dam area too, which is where Newaygo State Park is. The Dragon Trails are up there. I've hiked those a lot. Lots of campgrounds on that lake too, by the way. So definitely a good time to take this seriously, please. So there's again north of Howard City, headed right toward Morley. These bright pinks are indicating high winds coming by. High wind possibility coming through. Otherwise, we have expired the severe thunderstorm warning for Grand Rapids itself because only the northern part of Kent County looks like anything's happening, which was a good call on the National Weather Service's part, and we don't have anything else for Southwest Michigan right now. But again, watching out for this wind potential. Let's put a loop on it just so you can see how this was kind of transpiring. Yes, and see how those winds are really starting to blow up near Morley? That would definitely be the cold air rushing out of the storm. So that's right over 131. I wonder if there's a DOT camera up there. Oh, come on. My drive cameras. I don't have patience for technology today. That's not what I wanted at all. No cameras at all up there near Morley. So again, Morley, Canadian Lakes. I know there's a lot of cottages and stuff up there. That's getting towards the actual village of Mecosta, I guess, if you would like to say. Stanwood. Okay, this isn't working. I apologize. We're going back to the radar. But again, yeah, look for that bright red dot right over Morley. So I am almost positively convinced there's going to be some kind of storm damage along 131 by Morley. That is a big bullseye of wind showing up there. Big bullseye of wind showing up there. So again, what I'm looking for is this bright pink color that is indicating some high wind gusts, that it's going right over 131 into Morley. Severe thunderstorm warning for 70 mile per hour, and this is being, the thunderstorm damage threat is being labeled as considerable by the National Weather Service. So let's go peek at the National Weather Service chat. Boeing line segment, northwest Montcalm into Mecosta County, looks pretty vicious. Any reports of that area? Not yet. Pea-size hail, Macatawa area at 6:56 p.m. That was just a few minutes ago. Emergency manager says they measured 59-mile-per-hour winds in Cedar Springs via a trained spotter. Okay, so watching out for that carefully. And now this is looking even more serious up by Morley. So at this point, I would say we have some very intense winds that are going between Morley, Stanwood, and eventually over toward Canadian Lakes. Please be on the lookout for this in Mecosta County specifically. This is going to likely cause some damage as it races off to the northeast. And I will put a little... So this started literally just west of Howard City, right about there it looks like. Went there, and now it's north of Morley. So if it continues on that trajectory, that would put it, right up west of Canadian Lakes and Mecosta. Hopefully through some pretty rural areas, but, there's a lot of cabins out there, and like I said, a lot of people are camping now. It's late May in Michigan, and the weather's nice, so people are opening up cabins probably, or etc. So we're watching out for that very carefully there. I would like to see that start to fizzle out. If that keeps ramping up, that's going to be some heavy wind damage going through parts of Mecosta County for sure. Again, down to the south through Grand Rapids, I'm looking at wind only right now. This is just looking at wind. Not a whole lot going on down there. Always a good thing. Let's go back over to the actual radar mode that everyone's used to seeing. So now we're going to start looking at rain and thunder and lightning. And these storms are making a lot of rain, that's for sure. But as of right now, we don't have any warnings for Kalamazoo and Portage, which is good. But we're watching out for those areas very carefully. We still have that warning for South Bend, Indiana, and LaPorte. Otherwise, we're watching out for this Boeing segment. Again, south of Big Rapids, getting right over Morley and Howard City. And that's going towards the Canadian Lakes area as well. Nothing for Detroit as of yet. Morning commute was looking just fine. Hudsonville, just some showers and storms. Central Wisconsin has the potential for a severe weather outbreak tomorrow, so please be careful. Harrison, this will eventually go toward Harrison, but pretty far away from there right now. You're very welcome, Jamie. Mount Pleasant is... we'll have to see how these go towards Mount Pleasant. I think they're going to go just the west of town. Probably more towards Weidman, but I'll keep an eye on it for you here. Again, we could continue seeing more development because these are moving into a very warm and very humid environment, which is good fuel for the thunderstorms. But again, my main concern right now is Morley, right over Morley, Stanwood. Oh, tornado warning just got issued. So there you go. Whoever said north side of the bow segment, you get a gold star for the day. We now have a tornado warning for Mecosta County, radar indicated. And that is until 7:45. So again, tornado warning for Mecosta County until 7:45. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Morley, 10 miles south of Big Rapids, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Now this is radar indicated, but this would put it right into the Canadian Lakes area in about 5 to 10 minutes. So Canadian Lakes, Morley, anywhere that is east of Big Rapids in Mecosta County, it is time to head to your safe place. We have a tornado warning in effect until 7:45. Again, there it is, tornado warning, radar indicated. It is for this area of the storm here. And what happens is you get wind rushing out, and you can sometimes get this little wraparound right there as the wind is rushing, and then there's not much happening, so it kind of creates a vortice on the top side there, just like somebody said earlier. Makes me a happy meteorologist for someone knowing that. I'm not happy that there's a tornado warning. I'm happy that someone was pointing that out. So here's what we're looking at. We got those greens and reds right next to each other. This is right over 131, by the way. 131, which is a major highway going from Big Rapids down to Grand Rapids. And again, this is in Michigan, everyone. This is in Michigan. Michigan. Morley to Stanwood, Michigan, and Canadian Lakes. It is time to be in our safe place, which means taking shelter in a basement. If you don't have a basement, that would be the most interior room of your home. Anywhere that is lowest level of your home and lacks windows. So that could be a hallway, it could be a closet, it could be a bathroom. Basement is obviously the best place. Definitely time to head into our safe place. Now, this does not include Big Rapids, but I would not be surprised if the sirens are going off in Big Rapids. Let's turn it over to correlation coefficient to see if there's any debris signatures showing up. And it doesn't look like we're seeing a debris signature, but we'll see how that goes as this warning goes. And again, you see those reds and greens showing up right next to each other there. Quick little lesson what that means. Red goes away from the radar site, which is down in Grand Rapids. Green goes towards the radar site. So when you have reds and greens that are these blotches here right next to each other, it usually means that something's rotating around there. And this is why it is a radar indicated tornado warning. So let's take that off there. And again, that is a tornado warning for Mecosta County in Michigan until 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It is time for Stanwood, Morley, Canadian Lakes, Mecosta, and anyone east of Big Rapids in Mecosta County to head to our safe places. No, this is nowhere near Ann Arbor, so you're good. Again, tornado warning for Mecosta County. We'll zoom way out so you can see where this is in Michigan. And again, this is in the central part of the state by Big Rapids. This is west of Mount Pleasant, so west of Central Michigan University. East of 131, which is a major highway that goes north-south on the west side of the state of Michigan. And that red box up by Big Rapids is the tornado warning. So Grand Rapids, you are okay. Kalamazoo, you are okay. I know there's been some folks asking about Ann Arbor and Detroit. Yes, there are some thunderstorms over there, as you can see, but the tornado warning is way far away from you. And again, this is moving towards Canadian Lakes. I'm hearing some thunder now in Grand Rapids. Just some rain coming down still. But just to recap one more time, we're going to take our time going to our safe place. There's no need to panic. But this is a radar-indicated tornado warning, which means the radar has indicated rotation. We have not seen an actual storm spotter, storm chaser, emergency manager, law enforcement. Nobody has actually confirmed the tornado on the ground. But we can tell that the sky is rotating. Therefore, a tornado could drop down at any time, and that's why these warnings are issued. And that is exactly what happened a couple of weeks ago. Very good thing that those tornado warnings were in place because we got those tornadoes to form. So again, this is a radar-indicated tornado warning until 7:45 p.m. for Mecosta County. Canadian Lakes, time to be in your safe place. Stanwood, be in your safe place as well. We'll throw the debris thing on here. Oh gosh, I gotta verify on TikTok. Okay, cool. And just again, remember to be in your safe place. Let's go look at the debris signature and see if there is one. Oh, it's very difficult to tell. I don't think that is one. I would expect to see it kind of more over here if there was one, and it would be bright blue, but it's not. So that's a good sign. And again, here's a look at the wind also. This is also just showing wind. There's a big bullseye of wind going toward the Canadian Lakes area as well. Again, tornado warning in effect for Mecosta County until 7:45. I hope this is not great. Wisconsin's good for now. Grand Rapids is good for now. I'm just going to focus on this tornado warning up by Stanwood, Canadian Lakes, south of Big Rapids. I'm getting a little shaky, so I'm going to do something totally unprofessional and check my blood sugar really quick because I am a diabetic. And sometimes this happens. Good thing I'm not on live TV right now. Okay, got a radar update there. We'll focus on that in just a moment. That is really low, you guys. Okay. I'm going to have to get a carb in me or some sugar in just a second. Ooh, that's really low. Okay, I'm back. Again, tornado warning. I'm really sorry I'm eating a piece of bread right now. My sugar was super low. I'm feeling funny and I'm shaky, but we're eating a piece of bread. Diabetic issues, I apologize. Not seeing anything confirming anything for the tornado or showing damage yet. I'm really trying not to gross you guys out. I get offended when people eat all the time. I think it's disgusting, but my sugar is super low right now. The reason that there's so many tornadoes in Michigan this year is really just weather patterns, El Nino. It's warmer. And honestly, I think part of it might be because the Great Lakes are warm also. We lose our shield. Sometimes the Great Lakes in the springtime really cut down our severe weather chances. Storms move over cold water. They don't get the fuel they need, and they fizzle out. This year, though, everything's record warm. Or dipping in and out of record warm. Okay, so again, that tornado warning is still in effect. Turn it over to velocity. And we can still see those reds and greens showing up pretty bright right over Canadian Lakes, southeast of Big Rapids. Definitely time to be in our safe place still. Yeah, I think mild winter was putting it lightly. We had like 9 days of winter in Michigan this year. Literally it. Starting to get dark, okay. Okay, come on, kick in. I also get a little sweaty when my sugar crashes like this. I was not anticipating a crash like this. I'm so sorry. It's a little bit embarrassing, but this is life, right? Life as a diabetic meteorologist. Yeah, there were 70s and geez, every month this winter had 60s or 70s, I think. It was crazy. Just recapping why I'm sitting on this, there's a tornado warning in effect for Mecosta County until 7:45. I'm also having a sugar crash. I'm a diabetic. I'm eating a piece of bread. I'm very sorry. Super unprofessional. Not that a lot of what I'm wearing right now says professional, but you know. Still just raining in Grand Rapids. We can put a loop on these, on this, and see if we can spot something. Definitely worthy of a warning for sure. I'm hoping it didn't amount to anything. But either way, there's a lot of wind most likely going through Canadian Lakes, Mecosta. That would be M20, by the way. Okay, still not seeing any reports of anything. I'm sorry I'm quiet. I'm trying not to gross you guys out. Eating my piece of bread. Let's go back over to the actual radar mode and see what's going on here. Reflectivity, we call it. Definitely a very severe thunderstorm going through Mecosta County, to say the least. Might even have a little bit of hail in there as well. I want to pause it because it's moving a lot. We can put on correlation coefficient, and what I look for, correlation coefficient, is basically the radar's like, hey, everything over here is the same size and shape. I like it. So we're going to give it all a nice color. Cool. Over here, you know, not so much the same size and shape. So the radar's like, I'm going to give it some different colors because it's not all the same size and shape. Most likely just some small hail mixed in or something like that. Now, if there was like a bright blue ball in the middle of this, that would be like, okay, there's leaves and sticks and 2x4s and things like that floating around the storm. That's how you know the tornado's on the ground. It's called a tornado debris signature, TDS. Sometimes you see that with tornado warnings. This isn't any of that. So I'm not seeing the bright blue ball, which is called a debris ball. But correlation coefficient is nice. It's cool. It shows us what's going on. Think of it, you know, Christina Burkhart, my former coworker, did a really cool piece on this one time, and she compared it to like ice cream. And like vanilla ice cream, like cool, it's all the same. But if it's like Rocky Road, there's like chunks of stuff in there, and that's when it like shows up as a different color. Really cool way to visualize correlation coefficient. So basically, I'm not seeing anything crazy on that, which is great news. But the tornado warning is still in effect until 7:45 for Mecosta County. So Mecosta, Canadian Lakes, good time to be in your safe place, please. This is in Michigan. I can absolutely show Ithaca. You got nothing going on, don't worry. Ithaca is, oops, sorry, you're off the screen. But there you are. Nothing going on yet. The whole line of storms will be moving over to the east. Nothing in Alma, you're really close to Ithaca. This will head over toward Barrington, Weidman, Village of Lake Isabella, so we'll keep an eye on that. I do think this warning will be allowed to expire though, but I'm glad they issued it because there was definitely some rotation going on there in the storm. Let's see if there is comments on Facebook. Yeah, they will weaken most likely before they reach Grand Blanc. Shiawassee County, most likely 10 o'clock. Burger Sleuth with the Bible quote, thank you. Thanks for understanding, Mike. I do feel a lot better already after that piece of bread. That was one of the, I think that's a new record for low blood sugar for me, guys. Whoopsie. Okay, let's see here. Come on, pull the radar back up. There we go. So we have this tornado warning still in effect till 7:45. I'm going to be bouncing around some windows here because I like to see the National Weather Service chat and see if they're reporting anything. Still not reporting much of anything at all there. Ionia, you're just going to have some regular old storms coming through. There you are. Nothing crazy down around Grand Rapids at all anymore. Just that severe thunderstorm and tornado warning off to the north. Kalamazoo, you're still looking good as well. Got some storms coming in, but those are so far non-severe. And again, this tornado warning, which is east of Big Rapids for Mecosta County, I do think is going to be allowed to expire, but let's throw the velocity back on there once more. Yep, and there, so I do think this is going to be allowed to expire. I'm hoping that we didn't get any crazy damage. Again, Kalamazoo, you're looking okay. Regular storms. Davison, nothing. In Big Rapids, the weather is crazy. If you can safely send me some pictures from Big Rapids, I would love to see some. Yes, I will show the risk map again, absolutely. But yes, if you have any pictures or video from Big Rapids, you can send it to my Facebook page or my email or something like that. Or I think TikTok lets you do direct messages with videos and pictures. Oops. Yeah, fire up chips. Live visibility restricted. Your live is not eligible for recommendation. Shut up. What is your problem with me? So many rules. Just let me go live. Man, not a game. Okay, so yes, tornado warning still in effect for Mecosta County. I'm yelling at TikTok and technology, by the way. It's just, I don't want to, everything is a game. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. I think I speak for everybody, right? Why is everything so hard? Anyway. No tornado warning for Mount Pleasant. Nope. This is for Mecosta County only. Yeah, I'm sure I'm just seeing like clips of comments because they fly by. There's a lot of people watching, which is awesome. But Davison, there's nothing there yet. And I know a lot of folks are nervous still because of the hail from last year. And people are still getting things fixed from last year. But no, we're okay in Davison right now. We got no tornado warning for Mount Pleasant. Nope. Only for Mecosta County right here. Moving toward Barrington. So Barrington, time to be in our safe place. Morley and Canadian Lakes. The threat has passed. This is radar indicated. And again, velocity is not showing a whole lot anymore, which is great. And just to recap, sometimes what happens on the top side of a boat echo is you get this little vortex that forms, and that can absolutely cause a tornado on the north side. So if you have wind like rushing out like this, sometimes like right in this tornado warning, what happened was it just kind of spins on the top side and you get a little tornado possibly up there. So good call from the National Weather Service watching the velocity and doing all of that. I think we'll have some general thunderstorms around the Detroit metro, but anyone in the Detroit metro and Ann Arbor, I would not be overly concerned for severe weather tonight. Nope. I mean, we'll never say never, but your threat is pretty low tonight. Okay, I will go back to the outlooks once we get another radar frame through here, because tomorrow does have the possibility for severe thunderstorms again. I will say right now the best possibility, or the biggest threat, would be straight line winds. We're getting some more thunder in Grand Rapids now, but it's like barely even raining outside, so. Man. I really don't know how that would have gone if I was on TV, you guys. Good thing I'm not on TV anymore. I would never have been allowed to eat a piece of bread even if I was dying. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I would not have been allowed to eat a piece of bread to save my life. So, there's no way they would have let me do that. I'm so glad I'm out of there. All right. I apologize if I'm not talking too much. Again, a little bit of a blood sugar crash. I am a diabetic. I am rebounding. I'm fine. Thank you. I'm fine. It happens every now and then, right? You don't really know what's happening until you feel it. So I ate a piece of bread. Tornado warning still in effect until 7:45. I'll get a look at the outlooks here in just a second because someone did ask about that. Getting dark in Edmore now. Should be here any minute. Yep. And I just want to make sure I'm recovered and in a mentally okay place before I talk about severe chances tomorrow. Yay, diabetics represent. Thanks for the support. It's nice. Again, if I was in TV, they would have just ran me until I passed out or something during a tornado warning. There's no way. Yeah, so I am doing pretty good with my health. Thank you. It's been a year of ups and downs, but we're doing it. We're getting there. We're learning a lot. Again, this tornado warning, I'm just going to focus on it still. It's until 7:45 for Mecosta County. Um, Moving toward Barrington, I think at this point, most likely just a wind event. I will switch back over to velocity because we're looking at the wind. And it doesn't look... I'm not really concerned about that tornado anymore, to be totally honest with you. But there's a lot of wind for sure. Look at these bright wind signatures showing up near Barrington. So Barrington, also Weidman, I would definitely be on the lookout for some very strong winds still with these storms coming through. Let's go back over to radar, and then I might have to take a break after this tornado warning's over. I'm not seeing anything from Grand Rapids to Kalamazoo, you guys, so we're looking okay. Type 1, I'm unfortunately type 2. Kidney wood tea helps regulate blood sugar. Really? Interesting. Thank you for that. I'll look into it. Thank you for the suggestion. That was really nice of you. Oopsie. Kidney wood tea. Kidney wood tea. I'm going to remember that. Thank you. I appreciate your suggestion. So again, we have the tornado warning for Mecosta County. Notice we just got a fresh radar loop up there. We also have the severe thunderstorm warning for Montcalm County. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. The tornado was radar indicated. I do think the velocities, the little couplet that developed, is falling apart, so I am anticipating that is going to be allowed to expire here any moment, maybe even a little bit early. And then we have the severe thunderstorm warning up toward Everett as well, east of Reed City. That would be along US 10. It's not a highway yet through Everett, but east of there, it turns into a highway that goes north of Clare. And if you stay on track, Clare, Mount Pleasant, Harrison, I would anticipate some severe thunderstorm warnings for you along the 127 corridor. And again, everyone else, Lansing, Jackson, I'm not seeing anything yet. We are seeing storms over Detroit. They are not severe, but they are definitely dropping some rain. We'll take a little jaunt over here really quick. So let me pull up the Detroit radar site because Grand Rapids is a little too far away to get an accurate picture of what's going on. And again, I'm only leaving that tornado warning up there because I'm 99% positive it's not a threat anymore. So right over Livonia and Belleville, we have some heavy downpours going on. Maybe a little bit of a V-notch with that storm southeast of Ann Arbor too, which just means it could be stronger because you got winds blowing this way and this way, so it creates a V. And I'm sorry, I'm nerding out so much with you guys, but Livonia, there's your little storm. Nothing to worry about here yet. You are under severe possibilities too, but nothing yet. Back over to the Grand Rapids radar site. Got a fresh severe thunderstorm warning for the areas I was just talking about. Maybe I should stop throwing out city names. You guys are going to get warnings. Anyway, that is for literally the north part of Mount Pleasant. So the northern part of Isabella County. And yes, this is cutting the city of Mount Pleasant in half. So the Meijer on the north side of town is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and the Walmart on the south side of town is not. Mount Pleasant, get ready for some gusty winds to come through. Weidman, Lake Isabella will watch out for you as well. Barrington, and again, I'm pretty sure this tornado warning will be allowed to expire because we got a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of it. This does include Harrison, and this does include Clare for the severe thunderstorm warnings. And that is until 58 minutes, 8:30 p.m., 60 mile per hour winds. So Mount Pleasant, Clare, Harrison, be on the lookout for that. I know I have a lot of folks watching from Alma and Ithaca. This does not include you, but we are watching the storms over to your west. I will say, though, you have a much less chance of anything severe compared to your friends off to the north. Otherwise, around Grand Rapids right now, this green and yellow clutter is what we got going on. Ionia, you're looking good. Lowell, looking good. Still looking good, even down to Kalamazoo, which is wonderful news. We've had our 5 years worth of severe weather down there. Orleans, Belding. And again, that tornado warning is most likely just going to be allowed to expire. I would expire it early myself, but sometimes these things are just allowed to ride themselves out since it was originally issued until 7:45. My mom found out she was a diabetic with 712. Like her sugar was 712. Whoa. I hope she's taking care of herself. 712. Livonia, it's getting dark. Yep, you got that storm down there. It's not severe, though. Still got that tornado warning. Again, I think it's going to be allowed to expire here shortly. There we go. This is going really slow right now. I might take a little bit of a break for a minute here and eat like an actual meal and then hop back on later if there's anything going on. But yes, we do have some big storms forming over the Detroit area. You know, I am curious if these are moving quickly or not, because if they're not moving very fast, we might have some highway flooding. So let's take a look. See. Play. All right. Oh, it's an outflow boundary from earlier. Okay, I see what's going on now. We got some outflow boundary fun going on over Detroit. Okay, so these are moving off to the northeast. They're moving. Belleville, you're about to get a heck of a thunderstorm. It is not severe as of right now, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I'll have to look more into it, but if there's some hail or wind with that little guy right there, might be warned in a little bit, but as of right now, it's just a strong thunderstorm coming through. So this is super cool, you guys. Okay, super cool. Ready? Hold on. So this like little faint area, this line right here, that's an outflow boundary from earlier thunderstorms that are all the way over from Canada. So basically you have like cooler air that came through, and then you got like the warmer air trying to go up this way, and then it just like slams into this, and then it goes up and makes a thunderstorm. Cool, right? Really cool. So these faint faint blue lines, outflow boundaries. Haha, super cool. Super cool stuff. Okay, so still watching the west side of the state carefully. Again, that tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. Not even showing much rotation there anymore. It was originally issued to 7:45. It's just most likely going to go until it expires, but that's no longer a threat. I will double check with the National Weather Service chat just to make sure I'm not missing anything, and it doesn't look like anything's going on there, so we're all good. Comments here. Diabetics unite. And okay, this is the outlook someone was mentioning for tomorrow. See how it says Tuesday, May 21st. Now this is for the whole state of Michigan. The dark green is a marginal risk, which is a 1 out of 5. Oh, I gotta switch Facebook over, I'm sorry. There you go. Okay, so the dark green, which is on the outer periphery there, that is a marginal risk, a 1 out of 5. The yellow is a slight risk, which is a 2 out of 5. The orange over Wisconsin is an enhanced risk, which is a 3 out of 5. And then if you can see the red bullseye over Davenport, Iowa, that is a 4 out of 5. That's a moderate risk. That's really, really high. Now, I can break these down into threat levels, so we're talking like hail, tornado, wind, things like that. Here is the tornado specific outlook. This is there's a super small chance for one on the very west side of the state of Michigan. This is along and west of 131. So basically the Lake Michigan shoreline, Grand Rapids, Big Rapids again, up to Traverse City. It's a super small chance though. Much, much better chances of tornadoes tomorrow and Tuesday back over to the west across Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. Now, this is where the main threat comes in. This is the outlook of straight line winds. It could be a possible derecho. I was reading that, and that's a derecho. It's got to be like 200 miles long with sustained warnings and all that kind of stuff. Possible, but this is by far the biggest threat we have, which is the threat for straight line winds, and that's also the bullseye, the black hatch mark down to the southwest as well. So straight line winds are by far the biggest threat tomorrow, Tuesday, and again, I've seen people ask, is it going to be a derecho, and it is possible, never guaranteed, but it is possible. This is the hail threat, which you can see where it says severe hail outlook. That is even, on the lesser side as well. So by far, the biggest threat is going to be straight line winds Tuesday, tomorrow, and most likely going to be much, much later in the day as well. This model here is highlighting the possibility of midnight tomorrow night, which would technically carry it over into Wednesday a little bit. And this all depends on, what time do the storms form, how well do they hold together, things like that. They could form like 2 hours early, they could form 2 hours late, they could not form at all. It just depends. Here's a different model, and we'll see what this one says. This is the NAM, which stands for North American Model, NAM. And this is showing diddly squat. I don't buy that at all. I don't like that model very much anyway. I'm not like cherry picking. I just like every model has like a rating on if it does like good or not, and that one is kind of like not so much. So let's see what this one says. This is a model that's like a prototype, but it's done okay. Yeah, so this also has like a midnight threat coming through tomorrow night. Oh my gosh. Do you have to scroll? Okay, so yeah, we are looking for this line of storms. Again, this is like midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's tomorrow. So that's what we got going on there for tomorrow. Back over to the situation at hand, which is the radar right now. Again, that tornado warning will be allowed to expire here in the next couple of minutes. And down to the south, we got regular showers and storms going through Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo. couple bigger storms developing over the Detroit metro east of Ann Arbor, but the ones over Wayne County in Detroit are not severe either. And yeah, viewers are falling off. Nobody cares. I don't even really care anymore. This is not a huge deal. Again, we got the severe thunderstorm warning for northern Isabella County over toward Clare. The tornado warning will expire, not a big deal. I'm not seeing any reports of damage yet, but if anyone does have videos or pictures, I would love to see them. Again, this is not overly concerning right now. This is not meant to scare anybody or anything like that. We're just giving you an update on the weather. That was a loud crackle of thunder in Grand Rapids, though. Echo, how you doing? You tired? Echo's sleepy. That's my dog. I have a dog named Echo. TikTok people, you can see her. There she is. That's my dog. Her name's Echo. I named her after a thunderstorm. She's just chilling. Echo, are you bored? She's bored. Yes, actually, these storms do look like they're weakening. Well, they were weakening off to the north a little bit. The ones to the south, they're holding on okay. We'll have to see what they do as they go east a little bit. But I do need to take a little bit of a break on TikTok. My phone is overheating. So we're going to turn you off. I will be back on later for the 20 of you still watching. Thank you so much. And again, I will be on later if anything crazy happens. Come on. And you. Ooh. 10,000 viewers. Sweet. Okay. So now we're just on Facebook and YouTube. And again, we got more warnings issued. Mount Pleasant, you are now officially under a warning. Alma and Ithaca, you are under a warning. That is until 8:45 for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, that tornado warning is going to disappear any moment because that is no longer an issue. Let's take a quick peek at the National Weather Service chat. Kalamazoo County wind gust of 55 miles per hour reported near Westwood and Drake by a train spotter. Someone's typing. I just want to see what they say. A couple minor tree branches down, 3 to 4 inches in diameter. Well, diameter, that's a pretty good sized tree branch, actually. Okay, everyone, time to take a break. I will be back on later if anything crazy happens. As of right now, some gusts of wind and some minor tree damage is occurring. That is about it. Stay safe. And I will, again, be back on here a little bit just in case anything happens. But as of right now,